Inside src you have to create a new folder for your components. All right, and then inside there let's create a new file known as header.js. All right, give me a second now.
Okay, sir.
Can you hear me? Hello, you can hear me now, right? And it should be far more clearer than the previous one.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so let's just create our first component. So I showed you this yesterday only. So react as a function and it is an export as well. All right, so let's just say class name equals to let's not create a div at first. We will go with a header. So header tag is will be actually a header tag. All right, and we will say inside this header now we want to create something like this, right? So we will say simply recipes, and then we have home, and then so this is one div, this is the second div, and then this is a third div. So you will create two divs. All right, so we will say div and then hit a tab. Now I have emmet installed, and if you also want to have that, it usually comes pre-installed with VS Code. Yeah, you don't need to worry about this. So but you do need to do a setting in here, so you have to go to preferences and then settings, and then over here just type in emmet, and then over here include languages. You have to add item and say the first item to be JavaScript. All right, so and then the value, so JavaScript React will have a JavaScript React. Okay, so I already have that added, so I won't click OK, I will click cancel. You can always click OK. All right, chalo. So that is how I have this. So whenever I type div and then I put in a class name, so and hit tab, it automatically creates one for me. I can even say dot class and hit tab, it will create a div for me. Okay, so that is how you work with emmet in React. Chalo. All right, so inside header we will have our nav, and then in here let's just go ahead and yeah, let's just rename this. We will say h1. Okay, and we'll say simple recipes. Okay, and then in here we have two divs, so this is one div and then this is the second div. Okay, so we'll say div into 2, and then inside here we will have li, so list index, and we'll have bunch of them. So it says home, we'll not have a home, we'll say recipes, and then there's tags. All right, and then there is one more about page. Okay, chalo. So this is your just header component, and then we will have a instead of having a div, let's just create a button. Okay, so yeah, let's just hit a button and we'll style this later on, and we'll say button contact us. Chalo. So let's just keep it that way, let's keep it contact only. Okay, now let's just import this header in here. So how you do that is you say import, all right, header, and I have my auto this, so it filled it for me. So we'll say header from dot slash components slash header. All right, so on saving this, I have not started my server, so let me just type in npm start. Okay, let me just close this and actually open up my this guy. So inside GitHub, I guess it's React B1. Yeah, let's open it actually over here. Nope, not you. And let's just delete this folder so that I can stay in one folder only. I don't have to go in two folders. Okay, chalo. So hopefully it will work properly now. So I can say npm start. Please type in. Yep. So now it has started the server. Till then, what we'll do is let's just tile. So that is our server starting. Hopefully it works properly. Yep, it's stuck in loading. It might take. Yes, so this is our header. Let's just style it. So it won't take a lots of time. Inside our component only, we'll create a new file. So not inside our component, inside our src folder, let's create a new file. So it will be in a styles folder and it will say header.css. Now since you want this only here, so you can say import dot slash no dot slash styles slash header dot css. All right. Now let's just put this one side and put this guy one side and make this a bit better. So this should be visible for you. So I will say header. All right. I'll say display flex. All right. And then we'll say justify content space between and flex flow column. No, sorry. It will be an arrow. So now saving this and saving this. Let me just refresh it. All right. It does not work that way. Yeah, I guess I will have to add a nav over here instead of a header. Yep, you see it gives us like this. So let's just keep it in there. And then uh, we will say nav second child. So div. So we'll say nav nth child 2. We will say display flex. So basically this only. Let's just get these styles over here. Yeah, and then inside nav we have a div. So instead of doing that, let's just put this guy over here. Yeah, so this works far better. Okay, all right. So you also want to have your header. I won't be styling it a lot now. We will include that later. What else we can do is we can just go over here, inspect it, and yeah, I guess we should be getting a style for this. So this is a div Gatsby navbar. Yep. And then from here only what we can do is navbar. So we can copy this and say save. And then now I'm not styling it myself. You guys are allowed to use the CSS that you want as you would like to. So it says nav center. So let's just get that as well. Okay, chalo. We will say display flex, justify content center, align items center. All right. And for this guy we'll say width 100%, but there should be a max width of 1200 pixels only. So now it should look far better. Yep. And over here as well what we can do is save this. Yeah, and save this as well. I guess we need to say with 100%. So yes, now that is causing some trouble with this guy. So let's just say now nope. Why do you have a problem with me now? So inside our nav we should have items that are spaced, right? So let's just add one more tag over here. So we'll say nav h1 white space no wrap, so it won't allow this guys to wrap up. Okay, and then we can say alive. So let's just remove stuff over here. So we can go to our index.css. So this is where you keep your common code. So let's just create an all selector, and inside this will say margin 0, sorry, not 10, 0, and then padding as well 0, list style none, text decoration none, color should be inherit. All right, and so that should do for the most part. Yes, you see we have this and all. Okay, chalo. So instead of saying space between, we can say flex start. So I guess my styles are not being applied to these people right now. So yeah, so this should say, and we can say nav div, and in that also we have another div. So we can say display flex justify content space between. Oh, it should. Okay, that is a lot right now. All right, all right. So let's say flex start to this as well. Let's say flex start and save this. Hmm. Why are we getting that button in the far side? So I guess this should fix it. Yep. And this should fix it far more better. No, it does not want to. Hmm. Okay, let's just keep it like that only for now. I will style that all later on. But for now, we have our header, and then okay, we mess this guy also up. Yeah, so inside our recipes, so this is another part. So this is, so let's start with first thing. We have this image and all, so I don't want to style this all things. But what we can do is go to src only and create a new file. So the folder of that file will be data, and inside that we'll say recipes. So before we handle it from the backend, we can say recipes. All right. Chalo, so that is how you start with our recipes, and then we can say const. We need to export this, so you say export const recipes. All right, equals to. So it will be an array, not an object, and inside that we will have multiple arrays. So the name will be something recipe one, and then we will have prep. So it will be 14 minutes, and then cook will be 10 minutes. All right, and along with that we also will have ingredients. So ingredients, it will be another array. We need to put in a comma over here. So this ingredients will be what are the ingredients of a pancake now? So yeah, there are lots of stuff over here that's going on right now, but what about the ingredients? Yeah, let's just copy this three guys, and we can say and then hit a comma, and then another, say a comma, and then for this guy as well. So now we should uh, let's create copies of this. I really don't want to type in, and since we don't want this to be like this also, so let's just say and kicks. All right, so now over here, if you go to our home page, you see we have this stuff. So let's just get in some images. In fact, what I will do is I will just save this image only. So let's just save this image. I will save it in the same repo. uh, I want to show how to import images. So let's create a new folder inside our repo, and we will call it images, all right. And then over here, okay, it is being converted to WebP, so we'll say JPEG, all right. So now hopefully it works. Open it. Yeah, it works. Chalo. So the way you import images in React is you have to import them manually. You have to say import uh, pancake. So name can be anything from dot slash images and then slash I guess what's the name of images? It should be recipe. It's recipe 4. So we'll say recipe 4 dot jpg. All right, and then in here we will pass in an image. So we can say now you have to pancake it. So let's hit Control C. So Control L, Control C, and paste it over here. So hopefully it works. Uh, so now saving this, what we can do is since we have our header already, so that is one part done. Let's get started and create this guy as well. So it is our banana pancakes, so we want to create cards for these people. So that is another component that we will be creating now. So let's go back to app.js file. We can say now import some data. So this recipes.js, so what you can say is import recipes. All right, so I guess I have spelled it right. Yeah, so recipes, let's just put it. So I guess put it over here. We can say from dot slash, sorry, dot slash data slash recipes. All right, now what you want to do is iterate over each of this recipe. So this is an array. So how do we iterate over an array is we use the dot map function. So put in this curly brackets, so that is your standard JavaScript. All right, and then we can say recipes. Okay, recipes dot map. Okay, and then over here we have to create a function. So if we will say the plural form of this, so we'll say recipe. Okay, and then we can say like this, and we will have to pass in something over here. So for now let's just create a div, and then the class name for the div will be card. Okay, so that's one of our card. All right, so we get this card from here. Okay, so this is our one card, and from recipes let's just put it here so that we can reference to everything inside our recipe. So we will have an h3 tag. It will say recipe dot name. All right, and then we can have another div. So we'll say time for that. Then over here we will have two p tags. Okay, and then inside in first one we will say name, sorry, recipe dot prep time, and then similarly over here also we will say recipe dot cooking time. All right, let me just do this. So I really don't want to do this, keeping it small. So yeah, that should help us. Okay, so that two things are done, but before everything you want to show an image. Okay, image. So you'll say src. You won't put in this inverted commas. Now you'll put in a bracket and you can say now uh, recipe dot image. All right, so now we'll be getting this, and for alt you will put recipe so dot name. All right, so let's just save this and go to our React app. Now you can see that it is coming over here. So let's create this. So instead of doing this, what we can do is we can create a component for ourselves. So let's just control X this all, and then we can say recipes. All right, now why we create components is you want to have this thing reusable. Now you, if you go over here and see, you have this then you have this as well. So you have all these recipes. So if you click on one, then you get a new card for every that card. Now you want to keep that reusable, right? So you don't want to use it over here only. So what we can do is we can call in recipes over here. Let's just remove this for now and then remove this as well. Okay. Let's create a new component. So let's just close the open editors folder right now, and inside this component we will say recipe card.js. And so the react functional component exported, and control V this guy. And we can always hit a control and space bar away. Okay, it does not give a suggestion, so we can do is we can go over here and paste this over here. So it still gives us a this. So unexpected token comma. Yeah, you need to put in this empty brackets over here. So it should always be there. And whenever you are mapping something in React now, you have to pass a key prop to the parent. So the most outermost element, so here a div is the parent, and then this all are the children for React. So in here you can say key equals to recipe dot name. So what this is while rendering, it will check that if there are duplicates, it won't render them. It will render them, but you see, when your application scales large and then there's heavy processing going on, you always want to keep your data unique, right? So at that time, it is for your reference and won't show up in the error part, but it will give you a warning every time this page is being rendered. So let's just save this. And now what we can do is, yep, it still works perfectly. In fact, we will say recipe card. So recipe card, all right. So we need to import it. Yeah, so we have imported that now. And I guess, okay, we have another error. So in here, we are closing a lots of them. So yeah, we need to close one over here as well. Right, wrong actually. So this one is for you. So yeah, this one was the extra guy. Yep, now it should work. Let's just refresh it once. Okay, okay. Can't resolve dot. Okay, so over here it should be dot dot data. Now it should work. Yes, it works nicely. Okay. Chalo. So I guess over here what we need to do is margin auto, and for same for you also margin auto. Okay, it's still not centering this guys. So let's do flex end. Now that's troubling me if it's not troubling you. Let's say flex end to this guy as well. No. Okay, chalo. So let's just forget that part right now. What if we remove this? Okay, okay. All right, happens. Chalo. So let's just forget it for now and save it like that only. So you see now these are big. So let me just create a quick component. So inside its styles only, we can create a new file. We can say card.css. Okay, so now for every card that we create, we'll be doing this. So in here we have a card. Let's create a wrap for this guys as well. So we can say div class name equals to uh let's say card wrap. Okay, let's just do this also. So now save this. We can say dot card wrap. Okay, we can say display flex. We should display grid. Okay, we'll say place items center, so it will center everything for us. And then what we can say is margin, please do it auto, and then max width for it will be 1,000 pixel. All right, so now, yeah, all right, so now let's create our card. Okay, so we will say card width. So width will be 100%, but max width will be of 200 pixels. Okay, and then all the images inside our card will have a max width of 100%. So let's just refresh it. Yeah, we need to import it as well, right? So we can say import uh, dot slash styles slash card dot css. Now hopefully it works. Yep, it does work nicely and perfectly for us. Okay, chalo. So there is one more property that I would love to add right now, and that is uh, max width. So if I go over here, let's go to the front end part. Inside src, we must have our styles. So in styles now, yeah, this is one line that I want to copy down. So yes, this one. So what this line essentially does is it tells grid to let's just make me this a tad bit bigger. Yeah, it says that whatever inside is there, keep it a min max width of 200 and auto fit it always. And if minimum 200 is not possible, keep one fr. So right now, yeah, you see they all come in a line. So yeah, they all come in a line right now. So and no matter how many of this I add, so let's just duplicate this and save it. It will always do it for me. So let's just style it a tad bit more. So what we can say is gap. So it will keep a gap for us. Okay. Uh, yeah. So now on saving this, yes, we have proper gaps. Okay. And then in P, let's just do this. So we can say prep time over here. All right. So yeah. And then over here we can say cook time. Yes. So I guess let's remove this guy. Let's remove this guy as well and remove this extra mapping that's going on over here. Yeah, we have this 4 only. Why 4 only? I guess there's some issue with, yep, now we have this guys. All right, so that gives all these things. So let's remove this time as well. So let's just control D this. Yeah. So I hopefully now what we can do is make this 250 pixels and make this also 250 pixel. Okay, so like this, and let's say dot card. Let's add a tad bit of border radius to the image, so we can say border radius to be of 10 pixel. Okay, so yeah, this is causing a problem, so we can say card over here, and inside card we have a dot time. We can say display flex and justify content space between and align items center. Now hopefully, yep, things work. Yes, so now it looks far more better and we are somewhat close to this guy as only. So that is how you are creating your components. So now let's not go ahead and create footer and all, but instead let's go to this part and create this. So if you see inside our header we have allies. So the first thing that I would love to do is select all of them and turn them into a anchor tag. Okay, so let's save it. Now they have an anchor tag. Okay, but you see in React anchor tags don't work. So what we are going to do is we are going to, let's just close all this stuff. All right, use something known as React router DOM. So we can go to Google and say React router DOM. Okay, so this is your routing in React. So right now React is supposed to be a single page app only, but we do some optimization under the hood. So what we have to say is npm install React router DOM. So just hit Ctrl J. You can always create a new terminal and say npm install React router DOM. All right. So once you do that, and it's installed, what you have to do is you have to go to a app.js file. Always remember the app.js file, and let me just copy down these dependencies that are required to be imported. Okay, and now I know that this is cheating and there may be parts of this which you guys won't understand, all right, but bear with me, this for simplicity's sake. So router, so your browser router is your main router, so everything packed inside it will act as your router. So what you have to say over here is browser router, and for this also you have to say browser router as well. Now header will stay consistent everywhere, so you don't want to change it, right? But what you want to change is the home page. So recipe card over here is your, not actually your home page, but it is somewhat a part of the home page. So instead of creating a new component right now, what we'll do is we'll create a new component later on. Let's just take this right now slowly, because this is going harder than I expected it to be. All right, so I guess we will have to spend a bit more time on this. Yeah, so we will have our header in here. Then what you want to do is you are supposed to put all the routes inside a switch statement. So what you do is you say switch, all right, and then close it. Okay, and then now you have to say for every route. Okay, so if you have route, all right, so over here if the path, so we will say path equals to slash, all right. So if you have a path equals to slash, it will be doing this. And then similarly we can do one for the same. So let's just create an about component which we will do later on. And I guess there is one more tags component as well. So what is inside our tag component? Yeah, so this is something else. So what we can do is let's just create a few right now. So we can say about, and then we can say contact, all right. So that is you're going to be your basic this. So let's just create this route. So inside our src folder, let's say a new file, so it will be inside a screens folder. So I create that screens folder, and inside that we will have an about page. We'll say about.js, and we can say RAFCE, so that is an exportable component, all right. We'll say this, so h1, this is an about page, all right. So let's just copy this, save it. So similarly let's create a new file in here. We can say contact.js, all right, and we can save this over here and say contact page. Okay, so now let's just import it. It comes from here, and over here also I guess we need to change it to uh, control D this guy and say contact. Okay, and then for contact we will import it from screens contact. So it has been imported up from here, and let's on saving this, now we have header. So yeah, so now it says cannot find resolve, all right, all right. So I guess there is an dependency error. So hopefully it works now. You lack permission to access it. Sorry for that. We'll have to wait till it gets installed, all right, but till then we can still continue. So you see, once we have created this, what we have to do is we need to use this link component. So instead of using this, we have to go to the link component. So inside our header tag, so let's remove the link from here. Okay, let's just save this, go to the header part, and over here what we have to do is, yeah, we need to use the link. So over here let's just select all these anchor tags. Okay, so not like this. I guess this one should do far better. All right, so I can say link. Okay, and then over here you have to say link to. So you can say recipes. All right, then this should go to some other page, and this link should take you to uh, about page. All right. So let's just create a link for this as well. So we can say link. Okay. So let's just say link to equals to slash contact. Okay. So hopefully it will work. And let's, okay, I guess it has not yet installed. Okay, let's let it just install. We have ample of time to show routing in the React. So why are you not working? Do I have to delete this? Okay, so it was, okay. So I need to also do this. You won't have to do it, don't worry. So all I did was I got 6 vulnerabilities, so I said npm audit fix. So all right, chalo. So it does not want to fix itself, so I will have to do it manually. Yeah, so now you see I have imported link from React router DOM. So hopefully on refreshing this, it should work. Yeah, it won't work because we have closed our servers. So you have to say npm start. Now it will start our server, and let's just close this guy as well, and close this guy as well. So for the day, let's just sum it up. What we have done is we created our header, and then we also used our recipe card.js, so for the same. And the links that we have used is this link. It is essentially an anchor tag, but inside React we route a bit differently so that it is faster and far more efficient. So we use this link tag, so it tells where to go next. Okay, and how you do that is you need to configure the link over here. So inside this we have to create a router, and then you have to use the header inside the router, and then switch tag and all of them. So inside switch, so wherever you want to use the header tag, you will have to use the, sorry, wherever you want to, so inside header you want to use the link. So right now you see we have used link over here, so you will have to route it, wrap it inside browser router. And then with switch part, what it does is it takes you to the path where you want to go. So if it gets path equals to slash, it will take you to the recipe card path. All right, so I guess, yep, my server has started, and it takes me over here. So if I click on recipes, it takes me to the home page only, and this also. Yeah, about slash about. Okay, why is it not working? So we also need to pass in something that is known as exact. And the worst part is you also need to keep this guy down and say exact over here as well. Yeah, so now, yeah, it says this is the about page. So if I remove this exact now, what it will do for me is it will also render the last page. I will have to keep it above somewhere over here. So okay, no, it does not. So I guess there are things that I also don't understand yet for React. All right, so it takes me to the about page, and clicking on contact, it takes me to the contact page. Okay, so that is basically how your routing works. And then over here also, I guess what we'll have to do is we'll have to say link to home. This also should be over here. So close this guy. Yeah, so now when I click on simple recipes, it takes me to the home part, and then recipes tag about, and this. What about this part? What is the problem? Route path equals to slash exactly. All right, it is inside this, so that is an error. All right, so let's just refresh it and go to simple recipes. Yeah, we got our recipes as well. So tomorrow what I will do is I will style it a bit for you to make it looking like this. But for today, I guess routing and all should be already going out of your head, so over your head or something like that, whatever you can say. But what I suggested that Lavanya, leaving everything apart, you start working with React and follow me. So in this route only, whenever you start getting errors now, you will know what to do and what not to do, because React is very hard. If it goes above your head now, you won't be able to understand it later on as well. All right. So any doubt if you have, Lavanya?
No, sir.
Okay. You don't feel energetic and all. Do you really want to do this or no?
Yes, sir.
Hmm. Keep that energy up. This won't take you anywhere. So you're speaking very softly and all. You should have loud sound like me, and you should be able to speak to someone else. So, all right. So let me just stop sharing. Okay. So what about the Node.js part? How far has that come? I need
I
to
will
teach
show you
you.
tomorrow.
Yeah, I need to show you how to deploy it as well, right? You want to show that on your portfolio and all. So like mine, see, if you go over here, so let me just go to, so this is one more. I have created so many websites. If you go to the creative details as well, na, yeah, this one is also mine. You see, this all website you have to create and then show someone so that you can get hired. It won't, they won't see that you have just experience. They want to see what you have done, what you have made, and all that stuff needs to be shown. So please start making and start deploying as well. Once you finish Node.js, I will show you how to deploy it. All right. So yeah, that is it for the day.
Tomorrow I will show you, sir.
Yeah, yeah. Make sure
It's a
that you
came
do.
to an.
Okay. Chalo.
Okay.
So I expected React to be small, but I guess it's getting far bigger than what I am expecting it to be. But I will do the styling part behind the screen. So I won't today. Wasted major part of my lecture creating and editing your CSS for you. But I will make that already for me so that I am able to handle it. And also, let's just not go into CSS. So I will do that CSS part for you, and we will have another lecture today. And at that point, the site will be far better looking, so it won't look like the garbage that I was showing you today. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay, chalo then. Have a great day. Keep working. So yeah, and bye, goodbye.
Bye, sir.